So, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Chinendra, Jai Swami Narayan, Sairam, and good morning to you, good evening to you all, and obviously Bangkok, early morning. Welcome to our GAA London Community Health and Wellness webinar. Thank you all for joining us today. We are delighted to welcome you to this important and insightful session on 5 elements and human emotions. It's part 2 with Dr. Om and the concept of Panch Mahabhuta: earth, water, fire, air, and space is deeply rooted in our ancient wisdom. These 5 elements are believed to form the foundations of all existence, including the human body and mind. When these elements are in balance, they support our physical health, emotional well being, energy, and inner harmony. So, when they're disturbed, we may experience imbalance in the form of stress, emotional discomfort, or physical concerns. Today's session will help us understand how these 5 elements influence our emotions, behavior, and overall well being, and how we can reconnect with Mother Nature to restore balance in our daily lives. We are very grateful to Dr. Omji for kindly sharing his time, knowledge, and guidance with us. After the talk, there will also be an opportunity for an interactive Q&A session. So please feel free to note down your questions. Once again, thank you all for joining us. We hope you find today's session meaningful, practical, and beneficial. I now have great pleasure in inviting Dr. Omji to begin the session. There he is. Welcome back, Omji.
Thank you, and a very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for having me here again. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are.
Okay, all right. So yes, let's quickly run into the presentation, and what I will do is to basically go over the previous slides just in a quick way for us to sort of have a quick
Refresh.
recap
Yeah.
of what we discussed earlier. And it probably, if some of us could not join the previous session, it would help them to at least be on the same page.
Yeah.
And okay, let me share the slide. Mm, Okay, is the screen visible?
Yes. It's not full though.
Yeah,
Not fully
okay.
opened. Yeah.
Now it should be okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay
Perfect.
now?
Perfect.
All right. So, yeah, we are going to talk about the Panch Mahabhuta and human emotions. And why, in the first place, it is important to understand this very concept. So, as usual, I will want to begin the session with a short prayer to Goddess Saraswati to bless this session because she is the giver of the divine wisdom that we are going to discuss. So we seek for her blessings to bless this session and help us receive this knowledge and help us to help others. सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा. May Goddess Saraswati bless us and shower her divine wisdom and knowledge onto us. Thank you. Okay, so just a quick introduction of my own self. My name is Pisit Mahasavansakun. You can call me Om. So I'm the director of Vedic Medical Astrology Center based Thailand, and I'm based currently in Bangkok. I am a naturopath, bachelor's in naturopathy and yogic sciences, and I combine the principles of naturopathy, Ayurveda, and Vedic medical astrology in my health consultation. So I provide the health consultations uh, to my clients all over the world. And this is the basic combination or the format that I work on. Because as a naturopath, the the motivation is always for formulating the health solutions all around the natural measures, natural means. So when we talk about the natural measures, it is very important to also understand the planetary energies that are basically working on us because we are energy beings and we are receiving and reciprocating the energies from these planets also all the time. No matter whether if we consciously acknowledge it or not, or whether we are aware of it or not. But it is the energy of these planets that's always working on us. So it is very, very important to be also, considering the impact of these planets. That's where the Vedic medical astrology really helps to provide good insights. And in addition, as I said, I also integrate Ayurveda to understand the basic nature of the individual in terms of the constitution, the body constitution, and how the energies are in a balance or out of balance, and what is actually causing the health challenge. While my major perspective or the focus is onto more of a preventive healthcare model. We don't have to necessarily get into the health issue and then start fixing it. So when I talk about during the health consultations, the main objective is towards providing a preventive healthcare to not let that disease or discomfort happen and start showing the symptoms. We rather get more aware of our own selves, say, as a proactive approach, we try to amend or correct our lifestyle, food habits, and the other means that we can add in our day-to-day life so that we can be prevented from having these health issues. So that's basically my a very brief overview of what my um, consultation model is based on. Okay, so now talking about the Panch Mahabhutas, as what we discussed earlier, so why is it important to understand about these five elements, the Panch Mahabhutas? It's because this is what our own body is consisting of. And this discussion or this understanding will help us to be learning about our own selves in a more closer way. And this is also basically helping to reestablish our very relationship with the Mother Nature, because um, this these five elements that we are going to talk about are the present in the nature, and they are also present in our physical body. So that is very direct correlation between us and the nature, and that's where the whole bridge needs to be very smooth and firm, so that there are no ailments that we tend to often get into. So balancing these panchabhutas, it balances our mental, emotional, physical, and all the aspects of our health. And for if someone were really curious to understand and how the healing modalities used to be executed or working during the ancient eras, talking about 5,000, 10,000 years ago, or from the times immemorial, it was based around actually fixing these Panchamahabhutas in the body. And this is where basically the Ayurveda is having its foundations on. So that's very, very basic, say, footage of our good health, and the understanding of these Panchamahabhutas is what we need to be very clear about, to understand if we were wanting to learn a little bit more about Ayurveda and how it works. And again, if someone were wanting to progress on the spiritual path, understanding what our Vedic philosophy teaches and how the yogi or the yogic culture used to flourish or flourishes even in the present era, it is all around the concept of these Panch Mahabhutas, and that is how one can actually understand a more closer insight of our own selves as a human. What is our main purpose of having this birth, and why are we here in the first place? And without having, say, some sort of mastery over these five elements, we cannot actually achieve also any of the spiritual growths, so to say. So that's very, very important. So what these five elements are, these are this air, water, ether, fire, and earth. And in Hindi, we may call it Vayu, Agni, Bhumi, or Dharti, Jal, Neer, or Akash, ether, space. Okay. And now what each of these elements are. Earth is what provides us the solidity, the structure, the stability, and this is in the physical body is what providing the structure to the cells, bones, muscles, you name it. So this is where the earth element is contributing, and in terms of this five senses that we are aware of, earth is related to the sense of smell. Okay, gandha. And water is the element that provides cohesion, and it comprises of all the body fluids, the blood, the hormonal secretions, the all the hydration is due to the water element, and it is associated with a sense of taste. Fire is the element or the energy of transformation, the element that is associated directly with our metabolism, all the anabolic or catabolic changes that are happening inside our body are the manifestation of the fire element. And be it simple digestion, through which we are actually able to get the energy after whatever we eat. Unless it is digested properly, we cannot get the energy. So the this is all due to the fire element functioning properly in our body. And in terms of the five elements, it is associated with the sense of vision. Um, Talking about the air element, it is associated with the movement in the bodies. For example, it governs all the bodily movements, the flow of blood and the flow of breath, what is happening in our body, or all the reflexes that we are able um, to have in our body is because of the air element functionality. The pranavayu that is in our body is basically the air element, and it is associated with the sense of touch. Ether, akash, or the space element is basically what actually accommodates everything. So it is the element that provides this space to anything, and it is associated with the sense of sound. Now, these five elements are in combination, they form the three primordial doshas, or the energies, bioenergies in the body, which in Ayurveda are famously or commonly known as the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Now, Vata is a combination of the space and the air element, which is what is basically governing all the movements. And Pitta is the combination of fire and water element, and that is what governs the body's metabolism. And Kapha comprises of the earth and the water element, and that is what provides the stability, the strength, the structure and strength to the body. So as now, basically, whenever we are talking about um, analyzing any individual's health in Ayurveda, it's basically the approach towards understanding what is the plight of the Vata, Pitta, Kapha in the body, and then how much are they in balance or how much are they out of balance. And this is basically the whole analysis around, and they don't need to rush into getting into the name of the disease or diagnosis of getting what is the modern day approach of say naming what is the name of the disease. No, basically for all the Ayurvedic treatments, it is around bringing these Vata, Pitta, Kapha in balance and that is what is going to make the person get back to good health. Um, yeah. So coming back to understanding I mean, just to have a little bit of a say direct correlation with our so-called the scientific lens or the scientific approach towards looking at things. So here is a very actually it might look little detailed, but it is not something to be scared or say overwhelmed about. It's just explaining about a little structure of the plant cell and the animal cell. uh, Basically, we as humans are also coming under the animal cells or the animal kingdom. So each of these plant cells or animal cells is actually um, formed of these five elements, starting from the cell wall to the cell membrane to nucleus inside the cell and the cytoplasm, which is basically the water element. Cell wall is the earth element, and the chloroplast or the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell, is the fire element, and so forth and so forth. So this is just to basically help establish a very clear correlation and understanding between these five elements constituents that are there in every cell, because when we learned it in our school, we were never taught this, we were never told that this is what is actually the cell wall comprising of, or this is what the mitochondria is made up of. So this is just to help you get that close insight of how these five elements are related to each of the plant or the animal cell. And this is what is there inside our body, or be it any animal, or say even the plants or the trees or whatever are there in the plant kingdom. So that is what is actually there comprising of every cell. And we discussed about this. Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande means basically uh, what is there in the cosmos is inside us, and what is inside us is there in the cosmos or in the universe. So we are a part of the cosmos, and the cosmos is within us. Um, Yatha, someone actually asked also the last time, and Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande. Pinda means body, and Brahmanda means Brahmand, as in the universe. In like um, in one of the Krishna Leelas, as when Lord Krishna, during the Balavastha, when he opened his mouth, and Ma Yashoda is trying to see that, oh, आप मिट्टी खाया, भगवान ने मिट्टी खाया बोल के, and Bhagwan opens the mouth, and Ma Yashoda is able to see the whole universe inside him, So that is exactly what we should try to understand, that this we also have the entire universe in us. That is what is basically is because that's how we are linked, that with these five elements, and the whole nature or the whole Brahmanda is there as a fraction in us as well. So सो जो शरीर में है वही ब्रह्मांड में है, या जैसा शरीर में है वही वैसा ही ब्रह्मांड में है, और जैसा ब्रह्मांड में है वैसा ही हमारे शरीर में है. So that is what it basically means. And then we try to understand that, how, when we say Bhagwan, what is that Bhagwan? Bhagwan is basically these five elements we talked about. Bha is Bhumi, Ga is Gagan, Va Vayu, Agni, or Na Neer. That is Bhagwan, and that is what is there inside every cell of ours. So that is where we should always be, say, very easily able to correlate with that fact, because we have all been told that God is inside us, but we probably are looking for a certain, say, personified version of the God, and that's where we are not able to sort of have a clear correlation with this phrase. But this is Bhagwan, and this is the core life force energy that is there in our body, in every cell of our body, and that is the presence of Bhagavan in our body. So Now, understand that the focus of our topic here is basically how these five elements are linked to the emotions, and how, and so that's now we will try to understand now each of these elements, how they link with us. Earth is what actually, if it is in balance, the earth element, if it's in balance, we have a deep sense of security, safety, um, say firm rootedness. We feel very grounded, we feel very safe when we are in a balanced earth situation. When I think probably I gave that example, God forbid, when someone very close to us leaves us, you know, we feel as if someone has actually pulled or snatched the ground from below our feet. So जैसे किसी ने हमारे पैरों तले से जमीन खींच ली. So this is what we feel, and that's basically the scenario when we are feeling, say, sudden shock or the loss of earth element in our body. And that is when we feel the deficiency, and the deficiency is very clearly linked with rootlessness, sense of losing all safety. We are not feeling comfort in that situation. So that is going to give us a lot of anxiety and chronic mental stress and all that kind of things that happen. And when, if the earth element was too much, it brings us a lot of stubbornness, and uh, lethargy. We could be lazy, we could be like too much into that comfort of being in whatever situation we are. So there is a strong resistance to any change, and that's where we become very stubborn and say basically non-mobile, and we're not willing to change or move. That is what we experience when there is too much of earth element. And a very simple, easy example is just when after we have had a good heavy meal, that too, especially during s- say the lunch hours, if we have any meal which is heavy, we just want to lie down and have a good nap. That's basically when it's because that we have had a good amount of carbs in the food, and then that makes us feel heavy on the earth element. Next, talking about water. The water is all about emotions. So when we have a balance in our water element, it is going to give us empathy, adaptability, the feel for others, understanding others. And then if we were not having enough water element, we would be emotionally very indifferent or numb, and don't have feelings at all. And on the other hand, if we were too much of it, we will be totally like overboard with emotions, all that over attachment and no control of emotions, crying, or all that kind of things that happen. Fire element. Fire is basically all about the energy, the drive, the confidence that we have. So when we are having a balance in there, we have a strong sense of purpose. There is a lot of passion. There is a lot of courage, direction, and a very sharp intellect. But if there is a person low on fire element, then there is no drive, no energy, no direction in life. We are confused. We don't have any ability to even lead others in that case, or not even our own selves. So, and if it were too much, then it could be an expression of outrage or uncontrolled emotions, anger, and all that kind of things, which is also what is not good. Next, about the air. Air, if it is balanced, then we have a lot of positive ideas, a lot of creativity, enthusiasm, and it's a lot of joy, happiness. Everything is looking very nice and pleasant. And while if it were less, it would again bring stagnation, feeling of lethargy, stubbornness, rigidity. Um, and if it were too much, which is what is mostly the case nowadays, um, it's a lot of air in the body, which is what makes the person think and overthink and overthink. So that brings us a lot of anxiety and panic attacks, which is what happens, especially as we age. The air element in the body becomes more and more, and that's when we also manifest a lot of aches and pains and here and there. So which is what is the cause of more than 60 ailments. More than 80 ailments in the body are because of excess air element. And that is what actually, as we age, we should be very, very careful about the air in the body. Space. Now, when the space element is balanced, it is all about, having a very deep sense of purpose in the life. And we are very, very clear what we are here for and what is our entire motive of being born as human. And, we want to be more giving than receiving, and we want to be doing something really purposeful in our presence here. And what if it were deficient? The person could be very narrow-minded and only thinking about himself, so more like very selfish approach. While if it were too much, then there is a lot of disassociation, and you have like the person has got a very high ego and very high opinion about himself, and there's a strong disconnect between you and the people around. So that also defeats the very, very purpose of our being here. So that's basically about the five elements and what emotions do they bring about in our personality. If it were the imbalance or deficient or excess scenarios. So now, what is our connection with these five elements? So basically, as I tried to explain, these are the building blocks of our life. Basically, when we talk about matter or cells, that is what we just know that, okay, this is the cell and the cell is the smallest part. But what is cell comprising of is these five elements. Even the food that we eat is basically um, the the air or the earth element that are there. For example, what you see here is a typical protein structure, protein amino group with so what it's boiling down to is nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon, and all these. So what is nitrogen, hydrogen? It is air, right? So basically, this is what the language, the dilution that our body understands. And our food has to be broken down to this level, then only our cells can receive it. So that is how basically it explains that these five elements are what are translating as energy in our body. After what we digest, it transforms into these, and then only our body can receive. Even these five elements are linked with the energy meridians in our body, and these are linked with the chakras, the various chakras that we have in our body, and the link with the senses we already talked about. It is also linked with Ayurveda, astrology, naturopathy, as I already explained. In fact, in astrology, if we say, Jupiter governs the Akash Tattva, Saturn governs the Vayu Tattva, and Mangal, the Mars, governs the fire element. So these are how it is all linked with these various energies, the planetary energies, and all our bodily functions are linked with these five elements. And our dependence on these five elements is actually from not just when we are physically present here, it's much, much before that, because even our ancestors were feeding on these five elements, and our great, great, great grandparents were living on these five elements. And even from after we disappear from this earth, maybe our relatives will remember us for, say, a few days or years, but our our bodies, our bones are going to take decades to decompose, and we are going to be still in connection with the nature even years after we actually go off from this body, from this sharira that we have at the moment. And this is our connection with this nature. um The Panchabhuta, there is a very strong reference in our Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna explains about the concept of Panchabhutas, and Charak Samhita, which is basically can be told as the Bible of Ayurveda. It says Panch Mahabhuta Vikara Samudaya Purushaha, which is basically what it says is the the Purusha, the human body, is basically um, a community of these five elements, the Panch Mahabhutas. And that is what is basically, as I explained, is the foundation of the Ayurveda. And that's how simplified they have put it to enable people to understand. From the Vedanta philosophies, it is linked with the cosmology, the universe, and how it exists, and what the manifestations from the universe are. Physiologically, I mean, from Ayurveda, all the physiology and pathology is linked with the five elements and their balance or imbalance. Um, and I think I discussed that about how it relates to yoga and Vedic astrology, all the in Vedic astrology, the elemental nature of the signs, the zodiacs, जो राशि होती हैं, 12 राशियां, सब किसी न किसी तत्व से रिलेटेड हैं, अग्नि, वायु, पृथ्वी, जल is what our all these zodiac signs, the Rashia, are linked with, and the planetary energies are also linked with these tattvas. And again, when we try to analyze from in the previous eras, when all the Vedyas, when they analyze the the ailments, they all analyze the health issue from Ayurveda and as well as from the astrological analysis as well. So basically, that is where this insight is very, very helpful to understand. Um, so why balancing is necessary? I think by now we should be already understanding enough that why is it necessary, because that's where it governs our emotions, and our emotions are basically what our hormones are linked with, and then our hormones will determine the various secretions that are happening in our body, and that's when we will be able to maintain good health or invite health challenges. And what these Panchabhutas imbalances, they actually help give us indications about certain early signals of certain diseases that can be manifested in the body. So if we are watchful, if we are aware, and we are keeping a very clear, open idea or observation on these, it will help us to prevent from serious ailments from occurring. And most of the ailments are psychosomatic, so they are based on the it's a manifestation of the wrong emotions that are triggering in our body. So if we are able to sort of control our emotions in time and keep them in balance, basically we will have happy cells in every organ of our body, and that will manifest good health for us. So just to make it very simplistically understandable, that's what the key message that we should carry from this. Um, Panchabhutas are basically the life sources. So emotions is our power to create. We as in humans, emotions are our strength, and that's how we should understand how to use our emotions carefully. Now, because of really the time constraint, I'm not able to really, make it a good interactive thing. But just a very quick one. I said, be your own CEO. Why do you think I put that word here? What does CEO mean here? Anyone? Just a wild guess. What could be a CEO here? Okay, I'm sure, I know that we are hard pressed on time here. So basically, CEO, normally what we know of is Chief Executive Officer, right? But to me, what I want to say here, CEO, be your own CEO means be your own conscious emotional operator. Be very, very sure, or be very conscious of how your emotions are operating, and be in good control of your emotions, because your emotions is what is going to manifest as good or bad health in the future. So, and we tend to be actually always looking out for external validations or reasons for when it comes to um, emotions. We say, okay, there was a low in our emotions because of that person, or there was a high on our emotions, or we are depending on someone else externally for that emotional balance, while it is basically our body which actually gets into trouble if we have had a lot of bad emotions, and because when it comes to manifesting good health because of those wrong emotions, be it anger, fear, hatred, or disgust, or whatever, all those negative emotions, we sometimes look out for external reasons for being the source of those emotions, but we forget that ultimately it is our body who's going to suffer because of those wrong emotions that we are triggering in our body. So we have to find out way to not get into that loop, and not manifest those wrong emotions in our body, because the whole cycle that happens, I already explained. It's all the wrong emotions because of those wrong hormones being triggered because of those wrong emotions, and then because of all the biology gets haywire in our body. And last but not the least, me and nature are not separate. We are a part of the nature. Be as close to the nature as possible, physically, mentally, and that is where you will find the greatest solace. This is where what the key message I want to put forth here. And now, so do as much as we can do for the nature, because this is what we are going to give to the next generation. And again, and this is what we have to also receive the most from. So we have to be very, very protective of the mother nature. because that is what is feeding us, and that is what will feed our future generations. So, and we also owe a lot to the mother nature. So that's how we have to be also, say, reciprocating as much. That's basically bringing me to the end of this meditation. I wanted to actually just quickly run into a guided instructive meditation so as to be able to balance those five elements. And that's just one idea or one technique of balancing the emotions, balancing these five elements, but there could be many other options. So I will just quickly run the recording, and we can just quickly listen to it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Are you able to hear that?
Yes.
Sit, sit in a very comfortable position. Keep your back straight and shoulders relaxed. Take a slow, deep breath in and slowly breathe out. So again, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in fully and breathe out completely. Gently close your eyes and continue this rhythmic breathing throughout. Allow your body to relax. Allow your mind to become quiet and fully present in this moment. Relax your head, your forehead. Relax your eyes, your jaws, your neck and shoulders. Relax your arms, your chest, your stomach, your legs and feet. Feel yourself becoming relaxed from head to toe. Today, we will gently connect with our five natural elements that are within us: earth, water, fire, air, and space. These elements are always present around us and within us. They support our body, our emotions, and our energies. As we move through each element, simply listen, feel, connect, and relax. Continue the rhythmic breathing and feel the support beneath you. Think of the earth element within you, the earth that supports you, feeds you, the earth that gives you strength and stability. Feel connected with the earth element within you, and with each breath, your connection gets deeper and deeper. With every breath, feel more steady, more supported, more grounded, and more safe. Silently speak to yourself: I'm safe, I am grounded, and I am well supported. Feel the stillness and steadiness spreading through your whole body. Now bring the awareness to the water element in your body. Imagine the water flowing through you, inside you, cool, peaceful, and healing. The water that brings you life, brings nutrients to every cell of your body. This water removes all blocked emotions and stress. Allow yourself to soften and to let go. Silently speak to yourself: I let go with ease. I allow healing. I flow peacefully through life. Feel the deep healing filling your heart fully. Keep breathing and bring the attention to the navel area in your body. Imagine the warm golden light flowing softly inside you. This is the fire element, the gentle flame that gives you warmth, energy, clarity, and confidence. Connect with the fire element within you. Feel the warmth spreading through your body and silently speak to yourself. I am strong and calm. I am confident. I welcome positive energy. Feel yourself becoming brighter from within. Now focus on your breathing once again and connect with the air element moving gently through every breath. The air element providing you the force of movement, the exchange of life, circulation of nutrients, helping your nerves to coordinate. Feel the fresh energy entering in your body and feel the breath relaxing your mind. Feel the life force power getting inside you and the toxins leaving your body. Silently speak to yourself. I breathe in peace. I breathe out stress. I feel light and free. Enjoy this rhythmic breathing. And now become aware of the quiet space around you. The space of stillness, openness, and peace. Imagine yourself surrounded by soft, peaceful space. Nothing to fix, nothing to be worried about. Simply rest and relax. Feel the silence, feel the peace. Silently speak to yourself. I'm peaceful. I'm open. I am connected to the universal space and peace. Now feel all the 5 elements together inside you. Feel them stronger and stronger with every breath. Earth grounding you. Water healing you. Fire giving you the strength. Air refreshing you. And space bringing you the peace. Take one deep breath in and slowly breathe out. See these 5 elements glowing inside you. Balanced, aligned, and peaceful. Feel and offer your gratitude to your body, to your breath, and to this moment. Silently remind yourself, my elements are balanced. My mind and body are calm, clear, and peaceful. I carry the peace within me. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Gently move your fingers, rub your palms, touch your hands to your face, and whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. Bless you. Thank you.
That was wonderful. We got more energy now.
Good.
Thank you
That's
very
so
much,
nice.
Dr. Om. That was
Thank
very
you.
good
Thank you so
presentation.
much. Very
It was
nice.
very advanced for me, but I did get what I wanted.
Wow,
And
so nice.
enjoyed
Great,
the
Thank you,
meditation a
Dr.
lot.
Om.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
great
Thank you,
meditation.
Dr. Om. It was
Thank
very good.
you.
Enjoyed it as well. It was very great. I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Dr. Om. That was very informative. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Does anybody have questions to ask him before we?
Yes, I do. Only 2 minutes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Om, I suffer from skin disease. I had urticaria a few years
Mhm.
back. It got a little
Mhm.
bit better with an Ayurveda doctor I went to, but it's not really gone. It's going for many years now. It comes and goes, sort of thing. So, what shall I do now?
You see, when we have the skin ailments, it's also some imbalance of the air and the fire element for sure. So, one thing as we did over this meditation, try to mentally also connect with yourself, and get into this kind of a healing mode, thinking about these five elements being in balance, you know, and also that, of course, you have to be continuing with the treatment, the Ayurveda treatment, or even if it were like any allopathic treatment that you are taking, please continue with that as well.
Okay. Okay.
And make sure that your skin is nicely like it's not dry, or it's always nicely
Moist.
moisturized.
Yeah. Yes. That's what he said. He said, I'm more water in my
Yeah, you
body.
see, it is, and actually, we all will be more and more vata as we grow, as we age, So that's moisturizing is very, very important. Being in the say the circadian rhythm is very, very important. Don't have late nights, um, which is what is actually a little say
Yeah, I know.
ironical for me to mention here, because it's already like 1 2 a.m. and I'm having this gyan going here that don't be, but this is again like a cheat night for me, so it's okay, and it's good for
Yeah,
a
our
good
skin
cause.
should be like your skin.
Well, actually, I mean, I do remind myself, that we need to keep moisturizing the skin often.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's
that's
what he
what I
said.
do as well, honestly. And I also hydrate, because I drink a lot of water. And basically, what else? Again, I think all that emotional well-being inside also, it does have a very deep-rooted impact on our skin. So
Mm.
please, I know it's sometimes difficult to manage, but we all need to sort of, manage stress in a positive way in our
Mm.
lives.
Mm. Mm.
So that's where actually it impacts on the skin. Whenever you have imbalance in the air element, it shows as rashes. And if you have a
Yeah.
lot of air element, it shows as dryness in on the surface of the skin.
Yeah, he told me
So
not to have a lot of sugar, less, very little salt, no
I
mendo, no cheese, no frying food. It's all gone out of the window. I've not been having
Yeah,
it
yeah.
for many
Actually, I
years.
mean, that actually goes for all of us if we were to, maintain good health. So, all these, the white stuff, the white salt, the white sugar, and all those highly
Mendo.
processed bakeries and all those, they are a total no for all. But for people having skin issues, of course, you make sure that you're not taking any of the food as too dry. That's
Yes.
also something you need to avoid. Like you can have mild, say, ghee or in your food. Don't take chapati as in dry pulka and all. So it's not really always good.
Mm.
Because or even when you have your nuts, for example, you shouldn't have it just like having it without soaking. And
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
so
I know that. I soak my. Yeah.
yeah, so those all things, whatever food that you take, or even snacks that you take, make sure it's not dry. It's not too dry.
Thank you. Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.
So, Omji, how can we recognize which element may be out of balance within us?
Again, if you are feeling, say, a strong sense of anxiety, overthinking, panic, it is the air element, and which is what is very rampant, thanks to our lifestyle and thanks to all the stressful routines that we have around. Air element is something which is I keep on stressing on people's awareness too, because this eventually, it actually manifests as more than 80 odd diseases in our body. And vata is what also she mentioned, so it's imbalance of vata. And as we age, the vata is biologically also is increasing, so that's what we need to be trying to keep a check on all the time.
Mm.
And next is about the fire element also, if digestion is good, the gut is happy, the mind will be happy. Now, there have been biological studies also going on about it to make a clear established link between the gut and the brain. But our Vedas, they already have established that long, long ago. And even astrologically also, if we want to understand that, but that's what I do from medical astrology point of view also. It's a very direct link between what the gut is. It's our second brain. It's actually more than the second brain. It's the first brain, because um, when from Ayurveda perspective also, आपका सबसे पहले आपका पेट सही है तो सब कुछ सही है, as we all know. So gut, if it is working fine, and basically it is the Agni, the fire element, which is working on when we are eating any food, if it is digested properly, everything is all good. But if it is not, then it's all messing up. A lot of accumulation of toxins are going to be there, and that's going to manifest into other health complications. So just simple routine, keeping yourself close to nature as much as possible, trying to be, walking on the ground for some time, if you're able to access to some park nearby, walk on the grass, get exposed to the sunlight, be, close your eyes and just be in connection with nature. Try to just have that, getting a feeling of getting every cell of you nourished with that nature around you. That would help.
You've just answered two of my questions.
Oh, really? Okay, that's so nice. That's so good.
I was gonna I was gonna bring up the next question was, are certain emotions linked more strongly with specific elements such as fire with anger or water
Sure,
with sadness? And
sure.
then my next question was, what simple daily practices can help us balance the Panch Mahabhutas naturally? You
Yeah.
just answered
So,
it.
yeah, this is basically, and you see, I mean, sad to say that this is what is actually missing in our rush routines nowadays, and that's what is actually causing problems in slowly. This is what we are drifting away from, and that is what is actually causing more of health issues. Despite all the advancement in the medical technologies that has happened, there are more ailments today than we had in our grandparents' times.
True.
So what are we heading to? So basically, we need to again just collect ourselves and be with the nature, be in a nice routine that is actually in that cycle of the circadian rhythm, and we will be good to go.
We have to refer all this to our youngsters because
Exactly,
our
exactly.
youngsters are not going to follow all this.
Yeah, because again, yeah, they try to sort of throw it out of the window, thinking that it is the outdated, old-fashioned thought.
Y-
I myself, I'm an engineer becoming a before becoming a doctor.
Mm,
So and engineers are supposed to be always thinking very logical and very technical and very scientific. But this is what it is, and
it
how
is.
far can we actually be rushing away from or running away from nature? It is not. So the
Yeah.
sooner we realize, the better it is.
Yes, yes. Yeah, as you also mentioned that food, breathing, meditation, or lifestyle habits influence the balance of all these five elements. Uh,
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Dr. Omji, what final message would you like everyone to take away from today's session about maintaining emotional balance through the five elements?
Well, as I think I also just put a quote there, be your own CEO.
Self, yes.
Mm.
Be very, very aware, very conscious of what emotions are you triggering in your body, you know. So if we are aware on, I know it is easier said than done, but it can happen. It can happen through practice, you know, that we don't have to um, be impulsive, be outrightly, you know, triggered with emotions on responses, and most often it is actually negative emotions, emotions of anger or emotions of fear, emotions of worry, emotion of anxiety, which is what actually does the damage. If it's emotion of joy, happiness, rigor, everything, then it's all good, you know, because basically it is then triggering wrong hormones in our body to get accumulated. So whenever it is the emotion of anger or stress, it is cortisol, which is accumulating, and then it is doing all the damage henceforth. So conscious emotional operator of
Yes.
our own selves first.
CEO. CEO. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think the most important.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Omji, for such an insightful and meaningful session on five elements in human emotions, part two. You have beautifully explained how the Panch Mahabhuta, earth, water, fire, air, and space, are connected not only to our physical health, but also to our emotions, thoughts, balance, and overall well being. Today's session has reminded us of importance of staying connected with Mother Nature, listening to our body and mind and making small conscious changes in our daily lives to bring more harmony, peace and balance. And on behalf of GAA London, I would like to sincerely thank you for sharing your valuable time, knowledge, and guidance with us. We are also grateful to all our participants for joining today's webinar and for taking part in the interactive Q&A session. We hope everyone has found this session beneficial and will be able to apply some of these learnings in everyday life. As you can see, messages coming in saying excellent. We hope everyone has found this session beneficial as everybody is digesting everything. Thank you once again,
Thank you
Omji.
very
Thank
much.
you.
It was very informative.
Thank you, G.
Thank you, Doctor. It was
Thank you.
wonderful.
God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Wishing you all good health and peace and well-being. Good evening and namaste. Shubharatri to
Namaste.
everybody.
Pannabin,
Shubharatri. Thank you.
God
Good
can
bless.
we
night, everybody.
can we get the recording, please, Pannabin?
It will be there.
Oh,
Thank
thank you so much.
you. Okay. Okay. Good night, everybody. Take
Good
care.
night. Good
Thank
night.
you,
Night.
thank you.
Night.
Dhanyawad.
Drink lots of water, as Omji said. Keep drinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank
But
you again.
is it true that we shouldn't drink too much water towards the end of the evening?
Of course, that should also not disturb your sleep, you know. So you shouldn't be actually getting up to visit the toilet. So yeah, try to avoid taking lots of water during the evening hours. Start with more water during the early morning.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
And,
God
and
bless
not
you.
forgetting when your throat is really dry, grab the glass of water and drink.
Exactly, and sip more
Sip
than
more.
gulp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Continuously sip. Have you seen Panna doing it every now and then?
Okay,
All right. Take care,
you.
everybody.
Thank